welcome to the Next Guy Up podcast. This is Messin around Mondays. This is attempt number 2 to record this pod.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't hear part 1 or attempt number 1 because it accidentally got deleted. So here we are. We, for those of you out there that are not us three, I guess, we've recorded about 20 minutes of the pod. One of our internets went out. He will not be named on this podcast except for it was Tinsley.
It was me.
And he was, so the platform we were using, turns out it accidentally got deleted. And so here we are. We had a nice dress rehearsal for the first about 20 minutes here. And so this is going to be the most excellent podcasting experience you've ever had, guaranteed. But we are going to just have our full show today. We are going to be doing some press releases here in a second. We have a brand new segment Messin is premiering today. We did not get to this, so this trivia is still fresh.
Yes.
Tinsley and I still have not heard the trivia yet. So we have a History with Messin segment coming up. Messin, would you call yourself a historian? Someone who's a lover of history?
Huge history guy, huge historian, know all things history. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to drop some knowledge on you guys.
If there's one subject Messin is passionate about, it's history. So
It's
I was
true.
like,
Yep.
Messin, we need this on the pod. And so Messin has going to start coming up with some history trivia things for Tins and I. And I think that'll be a fun segment. And then wrapping up, I think one of our most successful draft series, like this is definitely I think our drafting and some of this segment is coming into form. We are wrapping up our candy draft. I think you guys we've enjoyed getting to talk to you guys about the candies. We picked making fun of us at times saying who you think is the best. We've had a lot of interaction, which is what we always want on this type of stuff. So let us know today. We are wrapping up our candy draft with part 3, which is the worst Halloween candies. So we've spent the last 2 weeks drafting the things that are our favorites. We have chocolates and non-chocolate favorites candies. Now we are exposing the worst Halloween candies that everyone has received in trick-or-treat bags and things over the years. So I think that'll be a really fun one as well. But we are obviously doing this candy draft because we are pretty close to Halloween. We are just from Monday, a week in one day. So it's coming up. Do you guys particularly like the Halloween season? Do we like the scary stuff? Do we like horror movies, things like that? You guys into that?
I'm not really into horror movies. I like to get some scary paranormal movies every now and then. But not a big fan of anything with a lot of gore. I'm not a super big fan of fall. I don't know, all the
season.
The season, yeah, all the different kind of fall foods and decorations and stuff. I'm more of a summertime kind of guy.
I thought you were a big pumpkin spice guy.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about
Messin,
that?
shut it.
Shut up.
We all know where you stand on the pumpkins.
Are we not a fan of opening up the windows, turning the AC off, and just saving money on electric and having that good breeze of the outdoors and the smell? That's my favorite thing. Because once it gets in the winter, you can't do that because then it's too cold. But I take that back.
Good.
When we were at Zach's house, when we were in high school and college, it'd be negative degrees. It would literally be single digits. And we would have the windows open. We called it a freeze out or something. We literally have the windows open. It'd be
it's
freezing.
Yeah. You had to get air, let the air out of there every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, cool it down.
That's the other thing too. I don't like the cold whatsoever.
Tins hates cold big time. Yeah.
So you know what's coming around the corner. So you dread the season beforehand just because of winter.
Yeah, winter for me growing up was 60 degrees. So I'm not a fan of this up here. When I was a small child.
You're from Florida. We get it.
One of the smallest cities in Florida.
Yeah.
So I was not, to answer your question, Zach, I was not raised on scary movies.
Yeah.
That was not a big thing. We actually talked about it in our practice run that we just had.
Yeah.
But I watched The Hills Have Eyes when I was a teenager with some friends, and spoiler alert, If you've never heard a story about me crying, this will be the first one, not the last one though, because there's several stories. What did we say? Stories of me crying, or what'd you say, Zach?
Throwing up.
Every Mason story either ends with him in tears or him throwing up.
One of the two. So, not a huge like scary movie person. I was challenged to watch Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and that's all I could do. So just not, yeah, that's
Wow,
Hocus Pocus,
crazy.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are my Halloween Town. I'm
Love
just
a
kidding.
Halloween Town. That was a
Halloween
banger
Town.
back in the day.
So
I'm
it's
like
not.
I mediumly enjoy whenever it becomes this time of year and I drive through my neighborhood. I live in kind of like I don't know. It kind of looks like your traditional neighborhood vibe, and so when I drive through and the leaves are changing and falling, it gives me a big like Halloween vibes, like you're driving through, and it makes you feel like you're in one of those classic kind of horror movies. It's pretty fun. It makes me feel it feels very Halloweeny.
Do your neighbors decorate pretty good for the outside, like for Halloween and stuff? I've got a few neighbors that
Not a
are
lot.
gone all out. It's a lot.
I do like how the big statues and stuff have come around. It's kind of an entertaining, like the humongous skeletons and stuff in the
Yeah,
15-foot skeletons in the front yard, and then the inflatables and stuff. I think it's pretty fun. I'm not opposed to it. We don't have a ton of decorations, just like mild decorations in the neighborhood, like some colorful like purple lights and things. Nothing nuts though.
nothing nuts. Yeah, somebody's got a few of those
It's
big
pretty fun.
skeletons, and then they've got it's like a, which one is it? Michael Myers with the knife. And
Yeah.
it scared me the first night I was driving the UPS at 3 in the morning and see a statue looking character of someone holding a knife. I was like, oh, am I needing to call the police? Like, what is going on? Turns out it's just a decoration.
It is if he catches you off guard, it's like what the heck? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot. But
that's pretty fun. You guys have a lot of trick or treaters in your neighborhood?
so we've never
Will you be
been here.
distributing candy?
We've never been here on the night of Halloween. As long as we've lived in this house, we always like go to our church's like Halloween things, and then we go
Yeah,
see like
yeah,
your parents and Morgan's parents and stuff. So I don't really know. All the kids that are in my neighborhood are getting older now, so I feel like it's a how like we should have some candy for trick or treaters. I think I'm gonna just
yeah.
put a bowl out and say, "Here you go, have at it."
And then one little punk like middle schooler can come up and take all of it,
That's
Take
fine.
all of the candy.
without a doubt.
Well, we're first time home buyers, and
Yeah,
so we're going to find out. I know we've talked about in the past, Zach buying too much candy. I feel
we did
like
talk about that.
we're
Yeah,
we're going to end up having that problem, I think. Well,
you
I
got
think
too
we'll just do
much.
we'll do one bag and then we'll just end up seeing what happens from there on out for the we're not really sure what will happen though. So,
Yeah.
hmm, interesting.
Interesting. So why don't we go ahead and jump into press release? Mason, are you officially skipping a press release?
My press release segment is going to be replaced with the history with Messin.
Okay.
Okay.
Spoiler: he did it earlier. He didn't think it was very interesting, so he's cutting it out.
Well, I was talking about Halloween movies that came out this year, and with us just discussing, scary movies specifically. So with us discussing me not being a scary movie guy, why would I do,
Yeah.
a segment about
Mason's
scary
press
movies?
release was about scary movies, but then he says, "I don't like scary movies," and so it just turned into a very interesting segment. Um, so my press release has to do with a TV show that's coming out next year. It's near and dear to a lot of our hearts and to a lot of people our age's hearts, I think, and that is the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Has a live action adaptation coming out of the TV series next year in 2024. So they've been releasing stuff little by little information. This is being done by Netflix. and they had released a small teaser trailer that was just showing kind of some of the different elements, and then they have started releasing some pictures of some of the characters that are the most prominent. They released a couple of the prominent Fire Nation characters, and there were a couple of notable names in that list. I have a couple of them here. The first one who is pretty notable on that list is Paul Sun Hyung Lee as Uncle Iroh. I recognize his face, and he was on the sitcom Kim's Convenience for a while, which I never really watched, but I knew what it was. But he's also pretty recently been in the Star Wars universe on the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and The Mandalorian as Captain Carson Teva. So he's a pretty big name that is in the show attached to and in a pretty big part, which is pretty cool, I think. And then another, the guy who's playing Fire Lord Ozai is Daniel Day Kim, who's been in a lot of stuff, but most famously, he was in the Divergent series, and he's also in Lost. That was kind of where he made his name, was as Jin on Lost. So pretty big actors, pretty big names. He's been in a lot of stuff recently, so I'm pretty excited about it. I think. Did you guys watch the movie adaptation that came out a few years ago?
Yeah, it was not good. It did not do justice to the cartoon series at all.
Yeah.
I really like the cartoon series, and I'm pretty pumped about those two castings. Like you said, the one guy who's in Star Wars, I enjoyed his character in Star Wars, and then Daniel Day Kim, he's in Lost, and then when you said his name, I was trying to think what was the other big show he's in. It's Hawaii Five O, which was a show me and Morgan
Oh, okay,
watched
yeah.
for a
I
long
didn't
time.
watch
It's
Cool.
it's a very good show. So I like him, and I'm very excited for this series to be on Netflix.
So I saw clips of like that movie. I wonder if because they were trying to zone in on just the kid public, and we were probably like what teenagers or adults at the time that movie came out, it just came across very cheesy or silly and bad acting. So now think about who they're zoning in on when it comes to, well, I'm sure kids would see it too, but a lot of people our age grew up with that show, so you're
Yeah.
kind of wanting to have it your fan base tour, or I guess what's your focus group or whatever. Words with Mason, you're focused on like the people in their 30s or 20s or
Yeah.
whatever, so maybe it will be like taken very seriously and not just like bad acting kids with like really cheesy storylines and
Yeah, get them kids
like
out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
So
own
that
shows.
came out in 2010 is whenever that remake, which the show only ended in 2008, so it was only a few years later they came out that. And it was pretty universally hated. It was like 5% Rotten Tomatoes.
not
So
very good.
now 13 years later, I think we're due for a good adaptation. I think it'll be interesting. I'm a little bit skeptical sometimes of the live action remake because I'm like, ugh, what? Why are we doing this sometimes? But I think that there's a big enough shift from that. I mean, obviously, it had that kind of unique animation style, and coming over to live action will be pretty interesting, I think. So it'll be cool. And I agree with Mason. Our age group that grew up kind of watching it. I was 8 years old when it first came on, or no, I was 10 years. Sorry, math. I was 10 years old when it first started in 05. So I was right in that age range, and so now I'm going out to watch movies and watch stuff on Netflix. So I think that'll be fun.
But it's going to be like how many, is it just like a short series? Do we know
I,
that part
I don't
yet?
know if it's going to be a long series or what's going to happen. They've announced like 10 episodes is the first season.
Okay. So they'll probably do the same thing. Like they'll do like, wasn't it like labeled as books, like book 1, 2, and 3? Like it was,
Oh yeah, it was.
or chapter, whatever it was. But basically, they'll probably do about 3 seasons if they're
Yeah,
trying
there's
to
no way they're
follow
going
the
to
exact.
condense it into 10 episodes. It will have to be longer than that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'd be cool. I'm excited for it.
Good stuff.
Big time, same.
Thanks, Mason. All right, Tins, what do you got?
All right, so if you are a fan of playing video games, maybe you're a big fan of our video game draft, and you are on Xbox and you pay for the Game Pass, which is how you use Xbox Live to be able to play with friends and stuff online. you know that you get any game that they release on Game Pass, there's tons of games on there. There's anything you could think of, it's probably on there. Especially even like newer games that you would have to pay like $80 for. Sometimes they come out for free. So I
Good
was
deal.
kind of every month they, towards the end of a month they'll release what's coming out next month or whatever. And I was looking through what's coming out, and these are coming out at the end of this month. October 25th, Barista Simulator.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
October 27th is Car Detailer Simulator. This adds to the long list of simulator games they have. They have Farm Simulator. Um,
Yeah.
that's a big one. Power Washing Simulator. And I guess my question is what are we doing? If we're if you
What is
want to,
the world today?
what are we playing video games of things you can do in real life for? I don't know. Maybe I grew up in the time frame of video games were meant to do stuff you could never think of, like killing zombies or flying
Mm,
around the world and,
love a zombie.
having superpowers, not
Right.
cleaning my car. Because if I wanted to do that, I would just go outside and clean my car.
That is weird. It's such a weird situation where everyday things like we all understand that that person could just go out and pressure wash their driveway and it's going to be the same effect.
Right.
But because they're not having to exert the effort to do it. It's like more fun. Just sit on your couch and do it.
Yeah, and there's some that like I could see like Farm Simulator. If you and like that could be
Sure.
fun. Um, Truck driving simulator, train simulator, things you can't do if you're just a regular person. But if it's the ones that get me that are the household chores, the pressure washing, the car detailing. There's a
Pick up the trash simulator.
lawnmower one that I find that's wild.
The lawn mowing one is pretty well. I'm sure you could find a lawn to mow somewhere in the world.
Right, exactly.
You can do that.
Or you just love cutting grass that much, start your own lawn mowing business. I don't
But
know.
my favorite thing is people that are like streaming this stuff.
Yes.
Like people with big personalities will stream themselves mowing the yard, and they'll have thousands of people watching them mow the yard
Yeah.
on a
We're
stream. I'm
we're
like,
talking
boy,
about
this is something,
we're talking about that football player, AJ Dillon
right?
for the Packers was playing like farm simulator the night before a football game. The guy plays in the NFL.
It was like late. Yeah, it was late night. He was streaming himself farming. I was like, boy, what is he doing?
I'm sure all the
He's got to
comments.
sleep. He's got a football game to play.
Yeah. So,
He's
I,
calming
I
his
mean,
mind down for doing some farming.
yeah, I guess whatever floats your boat. I don't know. The small amount of time I get to play video games, I'm not going to play a chore. You know.
That is true.
I know that's kind of off topic. Well, it's got similarities. But have you ever seen Ready Player One?
Yes.
So it's like this world for those people that haven't seen it. It's basically like into the future, and they have video games this now. I don't what's the name of them where you're basically putting on like a headset and
Virtual
they have
reality.
and so basically what it is they're not even they're living their lives through the video game more than they are their actual lives like out in the world. Like
Yeah.
they're just missing. They create their own lives there, and they have like own money that they can spend. But it's like they can do extra things because it's a video game. So it's like you're almost like missing your actual. To me, it's like this is a good comparison because I feel like you're like missing your actual life to do things through a video game where you could just do those things actually like out in the real world.
Well, I'll be willing to bet that a lot of the people that do this it's like people who live in big cities and never get will maybe never get to mow their own lawn get to like do it in a video game simulator. People, who work 9 to 5 jobs that have always wanted to be like a farmer. They can live out that farming fantasy in like a game. So those kind of make more sense to me, like Ten said, except for pressure washing does not make sense to me. That one or car detailing, that doesn't sound fun
Yeah.
by any stretch.
Right. No, that's ridiculous.
All right, is it time for the very first History with Mason segment?
History with
I think
Mason.
so.
All right, Mason, wow us.
All right, so we've already kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
But with it being spooky season, I wanted
Ooh.
to do a deep dive on the Halloween season and kind of where the traditions came from. Some of this, like where did trick or treating come? Where did some of these other things?
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give us a deep dive. I might throw out some like, when do you think this happened, or how do you think whatever. But
Love
for the
it.
most part, I'm gonna break it down. This started, it does not give a time frame. This is according to history.com.
A reputable
But
website.
thank you. The Middle Ages trick or treating emerges in England and Ireland during All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day celebrations. Poor people would visit the houses of wealthier families and received pastries called soul cakes in exchange for a promise to pray for the souls of the homeowners. Words with Mason, dead relatives.
Wow.
They would also do door to door, asking for gifts such as food, money, and ale. Who would have known? History with Mason.
Mason, big I can't believe you knew all that off the top of your head, Mason.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. 19th century. This is when the jack-o'-lanterns take shape. The practicing of carving faces into vegetables became associated with Halloween in Ireland and Scotland around the 1800s.
There you go.
Jack-o'-lanterns originated from the Irish myth about the man nicknamed Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack. What a name.
Could this be Stingy Jack potentially?
Oh, wait a minute. Is it spelled S-T-I-N-G-Y?
Stingy.
Oh, no. It's even better than I... Words of Mason.
What, did he sting people? Like, go around?
Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack.
I like that better, I think.
Stingy Jack, who tricked the devil and was forced to roam the earth with only a burning coal and a turnip to light his way.
A turnip.
Turnip.
Jack's lantern was carving faces into turnips or potatoes and placing them into windows or near doors to frighten away Stingy Jack and other wandering evil spirits. Zach's losing it right now.
I love it.
19th century.
That's interesting.
Thank you. Halloween comes to America, and with it comes mischief. Let's see. This is a long paragraph, so let me find a... Okay. In the late 1800s, common Halloween tricks including placing farmers' wagons and livestock on barn roofs. Their livestock.
That sounds fun.
Uprooting vegetables in backyard gardens and tipping over outhouses.
Yeah, that's America's Halloween.
I know the other one was like so like, well, it kind of seemed wholesome. And
they're
then
praying for people and we're giving pastries to each other,
and we're over here tipping
Stingy
over
Jack.
By the early 20th century, vandalism, physical assaults, and sporadic acts of violence were not uncommon during Halloween.
We ruined Halloween.
Thanks a lot.
It was so wholesome before us.
In the 1930s, haunted houses became a thing in the U.S. Haunted or spooky public attractions around had some precedent in Europe, starting in the 1800s. Marie Tussaudam, there's no way I pronounced that right, Wax Museum in London featured a chamber of horrors with decapitated figures from the French Revolution. In the U.S., the Great Depression kickstarted this trend. By then, violence around Halloween, no doubt, oh no, what a word, exacerbated by the dire economic conditions. All right, let's push it along here. 1950, Halloween costumes go mainstream. So in the 50s,
Ooh.
if you had a guess, would you said it was earlier than the 50s or later?
What, wearing
Or right around?
costumes?
Yeah, I would have thought it was
Well,
earlier
before
than
the
that.
50s in America, we were worried about like World War II and stuff, We
That's a
had
good
bigger
point.
things on our mind.
Well, okay, I do feel like when things like that were happening, there was other things that came about as a distraction.
Mm,
Does that make sense? Like
yeah.
you try to distract. So I don't know. 1980s fears about poisoned Halloween candy reach new heights. Wow, we are really just horrible
Not
people
only are
apparently.
we like doing like causing chaos, but we're poisoning candy now that we're giving to children.
Well, straight up, do you remember as a kid kind of making sure your candy wasn't like punctured or anything? I think
Yeah.
right around 1 year, so there was like needles found in some kids like candy or something, and so we were having to like check our candy and
That's
make
right.
sure nothing was like tampered with.
Yeah.
The
I do
most
remember that.
infamous case took place on October 31st, 1974, when a Texas man named Ronald O'Brien gave, oh no, kindadine laced pixie sticks to 5 children, including his son. Cyanide?
Cyanide.
Cyanide. What's that?
It's poison.
Poison.
Wow. We just, why?
This
People
is
suck.
turned into a words with Mason. It's like I enjoy it.
So that's, yeah, check your candy, kids. After the Tylenol murders, there's people that, oh wow, there's also in the 1980s a rash of Tylenol poisoning. Wow.
Tylenol?
Yeah.
How does that connect with Halloween?
They would put Tylenol in the can, like they would
Oh.
give it out as candy. Interesting. All right, that was it. That's history with Mason and words with Mason.
And interesting. Yeah, you feel much worse about America and the state of our society.
You really do. After
We took
me
this
reading,
nice holiday and turned it into just like
tipping
poisoning
over
children.
houses and ruining our candy. All right. And that is history with Mason. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, folks. That's all you needed for today. So coming into our main event, we have our final candy draft. I think this is going to be a fun one because I don't know, types of candy everyone loves seems to be universal, but stuff that people hate, I think there's a lot of differences. So we are going to, it's just the same type of deal. There's no categories. There's nothing it's just, we're going at it. You're drafting your top 5 least favorite Halloween candies or candies that you least want to see in your candy bucket when it comes to the end of the night when you're going through all your candy, which everyone obviously does on Halloween. So, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Mason?
Give me number 1, baby. I will not mess this
Is there
up.
a 1 of 1?
1 of 1.
So I think there's a 1 of 1 that
yes,
a lot of people would say that we'll wait for to have that conversation. I'm sticking to my guns with this one. I'm going to follow my heart and not the draft. I'm not going to pander.
No pandering allowed.
All right, here we go. We ready? We're just going to jump into it.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Spin that wheel. Okay, first overall, wheel is spinning. First overall is Mason.
Oh no!
I hate
back.
Mason number 1. He feels good about it though. Okay, pick number 2 is Tins. It looks like I am wrapping up third on the turn.
Let's get after this.
I can't mess this up.
This is going to be interesting, guys. Okay, so the one stipulation we did have is that it needs to at least have a chance of ending up in a Halloween bucket. If, like, we're not drafting Peeps in this draft. That's a Easter candy, springtime candy, not a fall time candy. We will not allow you to draft that. So that is just something to think about.
Okay, I'm ready.
Mason, do you have your number 1 overall pick?
I do.
Prepared?
I will not eat this candy at all. I feel like a lot of people agree with me on this.
Red?
Well, it is a version of red. They have this, but I'm going specifically with black licorice. Why is it a
Mm.
thing? Why is that invented?
Black
Nobody
licorice
likes
is
it.
one of the worst flavors that have been known to
Thank
man.
you. Nobody says on
Yeah.
purpose, I would really like some black licorice right now. That's never been a phrase said in history of, I'm a history buff, so it's never been said in history. I would like some black licorice. Never been a thing.
I
Dwight
don't
Lock it
know
Schrute.
in.
why that particular flavor profile was ever created. Truly, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Thank you. Thank you. So I didn't mess that up. Let's go. What do you think,
I don't know
Tins?
how
Was
many
that
times
good?
I've seen black licorice in a Halloween bucket.
It's
Wow.
true.
It still can be in there. It's not a Christmas candy.
I'm gonna
It's
let it
not
slide through.
Ferrero Rocher, huh?
I'm gonna let it slide through. I think
Thank you. Thank you.
because it is a bad candy.
Licorice has been in a Halloween. I'm sure somebody will be giving that out. Like
Yeah,
not
Somewhere
I've seen
specifically
somewhere.
the
it
black.
in like the singular little packs with the other flavor.
It's usually red. It's usually the red ones though. Red
Yeah,
licorice
I
single
mean,
pack.
yeah, I don't. You don't see it much with the black licorice, but it exists. It's out there. I'll
Mm.
let them pick it.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank
we're
you.
letting it slide.
That
Dwight
wasn't one
Schrute
of
would
one.
argue with you.
It's true. He would.
No, I think I have the number one overall. I think it's
Okay.
it, every kid hates this. You get these, you're wanting to egg this person's house. Um, it is candy corn.
Wow.
I
I think
hate
I know
candy
This
some
is the
people
corn.
one
that
I knew was coming.
I
I
knew
know some
Zach
people that like
likes
candy
candy
corn.
I
corn,
do really like candy corn.
but I
Yep,
think
I know
Zach
you
just
like
likes
those ones.
chewing on sugar.
Who can argue?
It's true.
I do. I like candy corn. I like the little pumpkins. I know that that's a highly divisive take, though. I think it's like almost 50-50. Like half the population really likes it, half doesn't like it at all or hates it. It's one of those really weird things. Mason, what are your opinions on the candy
I was
corn?
just gonna say, is it one of those candies that is you either hate it or you love it? Like, there's no like person I've ever met that's just like, oh yeah, it's a okay. No, it's
Yeah.
you either despise it or you love it. Like, I think it's one of those
I will
things.
say that every year I buy one bag of the autumn mix, which has like the traditional candy corn and the candy corn that's like the chocolate version of it and the little pumpkins. And I only buy one bag a year because I eat them very quickly and they're so bad for you. But today was that day, so I bought a little bag and I ate the whole bag today. So that's where I stand. Tins, I think it's going to be a widely popular pick. I think it's a good first round pick. It would not have been mine though, because I like
So neither of us took Zach's one of one. So I feel
that
like
is true.
we're all getting our one of one here.
So I have back to back here, which I feel pretty good about. My first round pick is going to be Mounds Candy Bar. There are two candies that I will refuse to eat, and Mounds is one of them.
Mm.
Why are we putting coconut in candy? Why are we putting any kind of fruit in candy? Can fruit not just be fruit? Why are we wanting to install it into candy? That's my take. Um, do you guys like Mounds? Will you eat them?
No, no,
No, not
I
really.
think they
I
are
just
bad.
I don't like them. So to follow that up, my second round pick is going to be the only other candy that I pretty much won't ever eat, and that would be the almond joy. Again, why do they exist? I don't know. I'm sure some people like them. I am not one of them. I do not like either of those candies, and those are the two. I'm kind of surprised I got both of them. They're similar in nature, but they're two candies where if I get them, I will not actively eat them. Most candies I will like. I'll just eat because I like most candies, but those are two I'm staying
Right.
away from. So that's where I'm at. I got those two, so I feel pretty good about that already.
All
Those are the
right.
first two picks.
Going double coke. That's a
I
bold
am
move,
because they're
but
both garbage. Because why would you do that?
it's true. I like that. I like that. Okay. I'm going to go with a candy that seems to get a lot of hate,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
but it's always around. There's tons of it. They sneak it into every prize box for kids when you're little, or it's in every bag of the mix of candy just because they're trying to get rid of it, I think. And that would be Smarties.
Dang it. That
That
was the
was on
one I
my
was
list.
going to have. Yep.
That's a good one.
Smarties are the most pointless candy there ever was.
Yeah.
They have no flavor.
They're just sugar. Yeah.
It's almost like chalky.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's like chalky, sugary.
It's like a
weirdness.
sugary Tums. I'd rather eat a Tums. Tums at least have some flavor to them.
Help your stomach.
So,
okay.
Like
but I feel like you get a whole bag full every time you go trick or treating.
They do pop up everywhere. Yeah, for an unknown reason.
I feel like I'm gonna have a.
And then the kids like in school will like smash it up and try and snort it. Like it's,
yeah, that was the thing.
That's pretty bad for you. I'm gonna guess. Probably not good for your nose.
I'd imagine not.
Definitely was a thing in high school. It's so stupid.
Okay, I think I might have a controversial one.
Oh boy.
No, I feel pretty good about it. I stand by it.
He stands by it, guys.
He was talking about fruit and a candy, and I'm going to lock in Raisinets. Why would you do a chocolate covered raisin as like a candy? I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Raisinets. Never. I won't eat them. I'm good. There's better things out there.
I think raisins in general are, for me, are only for trail mix and no other context.
Yep.
Cookies, no. Do not put a raisin in it. Why are we putting raisins in cookies? I think they're good as like a almost sweet part of a trail mix, but other than that, there's so much better stuff you could put in cookies than raisins. And I agree, eating raisins with chocolate on them are an upgrade on a raisin, but they're still just like a dehydrated grape.
Yep. And my third pick, we've talked about candy hurting my throat. This is one that really hurts my throat. I don't know why, but it's going to be the Tootsie Roll. Hurts my throat. It's a cheapo, nasty glob of whatever. It's a glob. It's a glob, whatever, of chocolate mushed into it, and it melts. And people get them for Halloween, and I just no, I won't. I'll turn them out.
Mason.
I think I'll eat it because it's there. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, and it's just chocolatey, sugary, but it's not. No, it hurts my throat, and I just don't like it. Get it out of here.
You know, I kind of like Tootsie Rolls. I don't understand all of the hate with it because it's just like chocolate. I do think they're very chewy, which puts a lot of people off to it. I don't know, the consistency of it is tough, but
it is. Thank you.
Yeah,
you kind of agreed with me, and
I think that's a popular pick to say it's not. They don't like them though.
Thank you.
They also show up in everything. Those like little Tootsie Rolls are everywhere in the candy packs.
All right.
I don't know. I don't hate a Tootsie Roll, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same.
You can see why, though.
You're drafting a little high. A lot of hate. There's a lot of bad candy out there. Something kind of like maybe the Double Bubble. My next
what?
pick. That's my next pick. Double Bubble gum? Are you joking?
Why don't you like it, Tins?
I'm just I didn't see gum coming in here. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, when you get that in your bag of Halloween candy, you're mad because it lasts for maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah,
it's super hard.
Yeah,
and it's not like I love gum, but this stuff is garbage.
I think I usually put like 3 in my mouth at once, and I'm like, well, might as well get rid of it and just chew it all at once so I can move on to the next candy.
You try and trade like 10 pieces of it for like one good piece of candy when you're a kid, if you're lucky. Like
it's a volume trade.
It's like when NBA teams trade 10 years worth of second round picks for a good player.
One good player. I think that's not a bad pick, Tins. I think we could do better. I think in the gum department here in Halloween.
I think so. So I'm happy with Double Bubble right there.
I think the problem is kids are like shoving candy in their mouth, so they don't want to have to take the time to chew gum.
Right.
It's true.
so it runs out quick, so they can just get rid of it and then get more candy. That's what I'm going with. Okay, here we go. Back around on my my end. Number 3, I'm going to go with the now and later. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolute garbage. What this is marketed as a kind of like a Starburst that just lasts a really long time, but they're just like hard and impossible to eat without just them getting destroying your teeth in the
Destroying your teeth.
process.
Yeah.
I, they're not worth eating. Like, just eat it if you want something that's kind of similar. Just eat a Starburst, and then it's not going to hurt your teeth and like pull a tooth out potentially while you're eating it. Mason was surprised at this pick. Mason,
I don't hate it. I don't hate now or laters. You
he doesn't
just
hate them.
Doesn't hate him.
no. They're.
He's a
I
big now and later
understand.
guy.
I understand
Big
the whole
now.
like not a big now or later guy, but I understand the whole like destroying your teeth thing. I pushed through. I'm not gonna list off candy because there are some that I could see actually being on here because they're known for like destroying, like literally like you feel like your teeth are like pulling out of your
Yeah.
mouth. But that one I just pushed through the. You just start chomping down on
through
it.
the pain.
Push through the pain. I don't hate it.
All right, on the way back.
Yep.
I'm gonna take dots.
Mm.
Dots are another one where they're okay. I mean, I'll honestly eat a box of dots probably, usually, but the flavors are never. Here's my thing: if the flavors were better, I could forgive it more. But there's like a green one that's like pretty gross, and a yellow one, and then even the red one I feel like is underwhelming. Like, they don't have good flavors. If they had like the same flavor profile as, but I feel like the green one's like lime flavored or something funky. Like, they're not. If it had the same flavors as a Sour Patch Kid, I would forgive it more than the flavors it has. If that makes sense.
No,
It's
I
weird to
agree.
me, but they're also in the category of like, you can't eat them without just them getting all over your teeth and stuck like permanently for the rest of the night when you eat one. And so, for those couple of reasons, flavor being not very good, plus the sticky quality of them is just not the most pleasant candy to eat in the world.
I like that. I like you said, I want to like dots. I don't think their flavors are very good. Like, I don't know, there's just something about them that's off. But
I agree.
I wish they were good.
I'll eat 4 or 5 of them, then I'm like, well, this was fun for this year. I'll wait till next year. Try them again.
All right, I'm gonna go with the pixie stick. I just think
useless.
There's no point. You can't really even enjoy it. Makes your mouth dry. Sometimes it was really hard to get them open if you didn't have a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
kids also try to snort those.
Yep.
A lot of snorting going on. Also, when you're a kid, who would have thought that would have been if you had your on your bingo, your next guy up bingo card, a lot of snorting going on
Lots
there.
of snorting.
Anyways, when you were a kid though, did you hate like I feel like kids it was all about the sugar, so
Just pure sugar.
Yeah, just
I'll
take the sugar.
I don't think they ever really taste that good. I'd rather have something like a Reese cup or a Sour Patch Kids. Like, I don't know. I always liked good candy.
Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have ever even let you get that. That's Christmas candy.
Well, I think one of the problem with the Pixie Sticks is like the paper packaging just really doesn't mesh well with like a child that's trying to eat this and they put their mouth all over it and just like, kids don't understand that you can't touch it with your mouth. So they try to like suck the powder out. And then by then it's just like all clogged up and just
clumpy.
disgusting.
You can't get it out. Yeah.
Not
good.
The
whole concept.
Not worth it.
Trash.
Another one of those that has no trade value when you're trying to, hey man, look, I got 3 Pixie Sticks. You want to trade it for a mini Snickers bar?
Unless you cut like 10 of them open and pour them all in your mouth at the same time.
Yeah. There's no value. No value.
Tens, I feel like just like how now you're all about trades and fantasy football, I bet it would have been fun to be around you when you were a kid in Halloween because you would have been all about them trades.
I was a big let's see what I have and let's see what you want to trade.
You're rolling to school with a huge bag of candy. You're trying to like do some deals.
Yeah. Every day. Pokemon cards as well. That's all I. Most days when I came home from school, I would tell my mom the new cards I traded for, and she go, "What did you learn about today at school?" I don't know. I traded a
Pokemon
Pikachu for a
values.
couple for a couple other things. Like I'm out here doing that.
All about the
Learning the
trade.
street values. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last two picks.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, once again, another one that hurts my throat. I will never eat this candy ever. Nasty. It is stale. It's disgusting. It's a cardboard ball. And that would be the Whoppers. Nasty. Garbage. Hot trash.
That's a bad thing.
No, they're not good.
I
I will
Yeah, I've
die.
seen these
I will
pop up
die
on
on this.
lists too online, and I'm like, I like Whoppers, man.
love
No.
Whoppers.
No, man. Nope.
I like how Mason's picks are just does it hurt his throat or not? He's eating.
Does nobody else has that issue? It hurts my
what
throat.
about it is hurting your throat, Mason?
I don't know. It just hurts my throat eating a Whopper. Not the burger. The
Dude,
burgers
you're
are
allergic to
delicious.
chocolate.
I love a good Burger King burger, but not a Burger King Whopper, but not these Whoppers.
Interesting.
Hot garbage. No, I could have waited on my last. Well, I actually have my last two picks. Never mind. I was like, I could have waited till last. Okay. I'm going to get backlash on this one. But you do get jelly beans in your can. You really do. You get jelly beans in your.
This is your last pick, jelly beans.
Yes. This is my. Hold on. No, I'm not done. This will be the Birdie Bots jelly beans because they are throw up flavor, toothpaste flavor, dog food flavored.
If you buy that kind,
this is your last. This is your
flavored.
pick.
Yes, because
Halloween candy.
Unless you're crazy and you like vomit flavored candy, that's a good pick.
That's a specialty box.
That tastes like garbage. Nobody eats that for fun. It tastes like vomit.
Does anyone give that out for Halloween though?
No. Yes. Yes. Harry Potter is linked with Halloween stuff all the time. It is in. Yes. I don't know what else to say.
Somebody get this guy out of here.
Birdie's box, whatever it is, Birdie Bots.
No. Wait, is that the brand from Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, get out.
What do you think it was? I said Harry Potter.
I didn't know what Ferrero Rocher candy was either. I don't know. You just know
the brand as if people buy these like boxes and give them out to people for fun.
I'm vetoing this.
Wait a minute.
Have it because that's gonna look terrible on the graphic.
Why? Why would it look terrible?
Because it's not a Halloween candy.
Could be.
Anything could be Halloween candy if you're giving it out on Halloween.
Exactly. All right, that's my pick.
Good pick, Mason. Good pick.
Are we actually videoing? What are we doing here?
No, you get it, but you're crazy.
What do you mean I'm crazy? You're telling me you like dog food flavored? Okay, I have them right here.
It's not on purpose.
It's okay, but people like a movie candy. Yeah, it's
the flavors: soap, earwax, black pepper, booger, dirt, sausage, vomit. There's some good ones on here actually: watermelon, banana, and then there's rotten egg. I've had that one before. Earthworm, cherries, another good one. So no, nobody eats that on purpose. You don't want those. You play it as a game. You're like, which one is it? Is it the black pepper or is it the whatever good flavor?
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. It's not.
That's the thing.
Handed out at Halloween.
Okay, well, I have a backup because I was ready for this.
Too late.
It's too late. It's done. Locked in.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'll take it. That's fine. I'll take it. I'm proud. I stand by it.
And guess what? You played yourself.
All right, let's take the turn.
Tens. All right. I'm gonna take one. This might be getting some backlash, but I just really don't like these. I'm gonna go with a Three Musketeers bar. I think it's a pretty bottom tier candy bar. It's like a chocolate bar, and then the middle is just just like a weird texture. There's no caramel. There's nothing like crunchy in it. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it.
I'm confused. It's
It's
probably
weird
a
if he doesn't
popular.
like it.
That's a popular candy bar, and you're gonna hate me for my jelly beans, but you're picking a pretty popular candy bar there.
My candy bar exists in Halloween bags, and kids are probably like, I'd rather have a Hershey bar or a Reese cup than a Three Musketeer bars. No one's sitting around talking about these fake jelly beans from Harry Potter that you're throwing around. This is a Halloween draft. I'm drafting like I am 10 years old, trick-or-treating again. You're in make-believe land.
Got him.
It's make-believe. Okay, go ahead, Zach.
All right, last one. Here's my pick. So there's actually between a couple. I'll shout out some honorable mentions, but I'm gonna go with the Mary Jane candy. Are you familiar?
Yes, it was on
It's like chewy, right?
It's like a peanut butter molasses flavored taffy type candy. It comes in these little. It's like wrapped up. It's like a yellow wrapper. It's very chewy. It's similar. The consistency is very chewy as well. It's like
it's a peanut. It's peanut butter taffy. Essentially, is what it is.
There you go.
Because I have it on a list too,
and it's fine. It's just not. No one wants that in their Halloween candy, but it is what it is. Not very good. The flavor is fine. It's like the work it takes to eat the candy is too much. I feel like a lot of my list comes down to that. It's too messy and gross and chewy that it's not that much fun to eat. Well, there we have it, everybody.
You picked like chewy, like pull your teeth out.
I did,
which was good. Good
my
strategy.
First couple were coconut, and then my last three were that.
Destroy your
We'll see
teeth.
how that comes. We'll see how it looks. All right. Good draft, everybody. Do we feel good?
I feel great.
I feel
Mason,
great.
you feel good?
Absolutely.
He's sticking by it, everybody.
I'm sticking by it. I don't hate the black licorice right off the beginning and the Jelly Bellies at the end. So
okay, let's be clear. He did not draft Jelly Bellies.
You're not getting Jelly Bellies.
Wait a minute.
No.
You know what?
No. You spent 5 minutes
No.
your Harry Potter pick.
The brand name is Jelly Belly Birdie Bots every flavor beans.
Okay, so let's just be clear. The graphic is going to say Birdie Bots every flavor jelly
Just
bean.
the fact that I also said that without messing that up was a miracle.
You were looking at your phone reading it.
You're reading it.
Reading it can't be that hard.
Sometimes it is for me, Tens, okay? You've been my friend for like over 10 years.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, the graphic, the Jelly Belly word will not be on there.
You didn't mention it until just now for the first time. Jelly Bellies are like a good candy, though, so I don't know that would actually help you or not.
No, it probably wouldn't. Okay, I stand by it.
All right, well,
great draft, everyone.
That's our episode today. That is it for our candy draft. We will have these drafts uploaded on Instagram. Go vote, please. Make sure that the best draft wins here, whoever you deem that to be. Make sure we're considering the criteria of the draft that we're looking at Halloween candies you might want to get on Halloween. So just thinking about it, just throwing that out there.
Thanks,
so looking ahead to Friday, we have a weekend preview show coming up. We have been very, very active on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias. We've been on TikTok. We've been on YouTube. We have been, Morgan, the intern, has been grinding to get the content out there.
Yep.
Go talk to us. We've been pretty good about talking back and engaging in some dialogue about some of our picks that you agree with or disagree with. Vote for us there. It helps us know whose draft is best. So, that is our episode today. We hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you on Friday.